when anybody ever says, there's no bad publicity, I'm like, look at Jeffrey Epstein. Like there's absolutely bad publicity.
I was going to talk about her next. Taylor, I need an assist. Can you pronounce Ghislaine Maxwell's name?
I believe it's Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so she's been found guilty. I don't think she's been sentenced yet, so we don't know how long she's going to be in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the part where they get her to flip on everyone? Maybe.
No.
Is this the part where she commits suicide?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, like the Epstein thing, like obviously he didn't kill himself. Like all those trends that were going on.
Dude,
yeah,
Epstein...
I know, it's wild, isn't it? Like, did you see the funniest thing surrounding Epstein's death is still like they show you the picture of the ex-cop who killed people who like briefly roomed with him even though he wasn't supposed to have a roommate, and it's the biggest muscle-bound man you've ever seen. Like the picture of him free, like sitting there, he's got like 6 like murderer pit bulls, not the kind you see at the park, the kind that kill other dogs, and he like beat the shit out of him. Like I think the autopsy for Epstein showed a bunch of shit. Like even the coroner was like, this is not consistent with why were his ribs broken? Why did he have like contusions all over his body? Why did it look like he had the shit kicked out of him? Like, usually when people hang themselves, they don't have multiple contusions to their skull.
Taco Tuesday is crazy, man. I don't
know. The Epstein conspircy, forgive the term. That's his roommate.
Look, they put that guy in there.
That is a cartoon character.
That is a cartoon character that I would complain about because it's not an attainable body.
Yeah. Look at the side. Look at it. Looks like he has 2 biceps on that right arm.
Oh yeah.
And they fuse together.
Oh, it's crazy. I lost my train.
I remember the dogs being meaner looking. I'm exaggerating.
Nice dogs.
They're not normal pit bulls. They're over the top.
Look at that friendly ass dog right on
his name is Fozzie too.
He's just
I was gonna say Epstein, like the Epstein suicide in quotes, is a neat little conspiracy theory because it draws the line in my mind between like, okay, if you don't buy into the fact that he was murdered, then you don't buy into any conspiracies existing at all. Conspiracy is almost adopted as a term that means like fake news, but it doesn't. It just means that people conspired to do a thing. People put their minds together to accomplish something. And this is a conspiracy theory, which again means like, I don't know, something suckers believe in.
That people in private colluded together to get something done. It's like, how do you think military operations work? How do you think the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the government? Like,
I mean, obviously. I believe Epstein didn't kill himself. That's where I land on this.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then like your standards of proof are really high to think that anything other than the official narrative is on the mark.
I mean, you're hopeless if you can't see through that one. Like the guy who had dirt on everyone gets killed in his suicide protection chamber, and there's like guards who don't even work there who were there that day. The camera goes out at the perfect time. It's
the camera one was big on me. Yeah. The fact that the cameras broke for the murder, like, oh, shucks the luck.
Rats.
We had this really weird glitch in this 3-minute window. I think the reason why a lot of conspiracies are seen, like the conspiracy theories are seen in a negative light, is because people that have the really outlandish conspiracy theories in their heads, whether it's flat Earth or some weird I don't know, Bilderberg or like all that stuff, like that sort of thing is like, if you believe in one, you are more likely to believe in all this other crap, and then that's when people just get written off as like, listen, okay, this is crazy uncle that I have, he comes over on Thanksgiving, just let him talk, okay, just don't engage with him. That's what people really think about. But like, this doesn't seem like that to me. This doesn't seem like 9/11 truth or whatever. This is like,
if anything, they use some of those ones like flat Earth, like in a rhetorical way, like an argumentative rhetorical way, to be like, you think Epstein didn't kill himself? What are you, a flat earther? And it's like, there is a Grand Canyon of things between that, and you're trying to like lump anything that the news didn't directly tell you to being fake. Like that's not
people
true.
really do that though with Epstein? Because I haven't seen anybody that thinks that he actually.
I've seen people online like vehemently defending it. Like
really?
What are you, stupid? What are you, Q? Like, yeah.
I was going to say the internet generally believes that Epstein was murdered.
I remember this was like back when it happened, but I was like tweeting about it, and I don't want anybody to get picked on, but a couple like liberal guys were like, I hate conspiracy Twitter, like in like a subtweet to me, and it's like, you're a fucking loser, dude. You know what I'm talking about, but it's like really, like this one didn't jump out to you,
right?
Yeah. And it's like I hate conspiracy Twitter. It's like, dude, you're just not critically thinking about this. I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah.
As far as the Maxwell, the Ghislaine thing, you were saying, like,
when Taylor.
Oh, sorry.
Then
go ahead.
You call him a pedophile.
That's the way I respond to every argument from now on. Just it doesn't even, they're like, the Blues aren't that good, they're past 5 games. I'm like, yeah, lots of pedophiles agree with you.
I think pedophiles agree, and am I right?
So pedophile is the 2021 version of the 2016 Nazi, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
it's the most awful thing we can come up with to like stain on somebody, but they've been doing it forever, right? Like it's how like governments.
Julian Assange.
Yeah, it's how often like
that guy's fucked.
It's how they will taint someone. Like if you even go back to like, I know it's a movie, but like the X-Files movie, right? There's a shadowy figure who's stick with me. It's a movie about
timely reference, yes.
Right? Like the government guy comes to Mulder, he's like, hey, I've got some information about this shit the government's doing. And immediately, like they're like finding hard drives of pedophilia in his house. Yep, we found them. Turns out that guy's a big kitty fucker. Like,
that is so funny. Like the guy who invented like the 3D printed like gun or the 3D printed lower. Like he's like, I love guns and I figured out how to 3D print them. Here's the software if you want to make them also. And then like 3 days later, they're like, we found half the world's stash of child pornography in this gentleman's house, and now he's going to prison for the rest of his life. And no one is going to stand up and go, I don't know, because they'll be like, what do you like, child pornography, you pedophile?
Mm-hmm.
Like the same way they'll name bills that just increase internet censorship and overreach and oversight. They'll call it like the anti-kids getting raped in America bill, and then no one can vote against it.
That the opposite just happened.
Yeah, I'm sure they do that shit all the time.
There's a bill that made more kids get raped.
Yeah.
So here's what happened.
Wildly unpopular bill.
Apple came up with technology to stop people from passing child porn pictures. So what they did is they had a database of child porn pictures, like known sort of like, dude, this is what pedophiles get off to. And if you text it to your friend, they sort of check it in like an anonymous like hashtag. What am I looking for? Check some way. Mm-hmm. And so they're not actually reading your mail. They're just sort of scanning your mail to see if it needs to be read. I'm saying mail, but I mean text.
Right.
And Apple was like, dude, so just to be clear, like we don't even know what it says. We just know if your picture matches this database of known pictures.
Yeah, extra doubt.
Right. So moving this along, privacy advocates were like, dude, first of all, what's child porn exactly? How many grandmothers are passing pictures that they think of adorable of like 3-week-olds getting washed in the kitchen sink? Like, is that child porn? Like that
no.
is.
If they wanted to get technical, then they could say yes, but it's clearly not.
Yeah,
right.
No.
Growing up, I was always fucking naked. Like I didn't start wearing clothes until
I do my fucking.
Like 6 or 7. Like 6 or 7. I was just running around everywhere naked. Like
people go to school at that age.
Not in Georgia.
No,
I was working the farm.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, and by the way, they were going to flag it, and then if it got flagged, it would be sent to a human, and that human would make like an evaluation, like a judgment call, like, oh, false flag. This is it. This is the one. This is a picture that pedos love. Let's get this guy. Privacy advocates won. Apple was like, you know what? Never mind. This is all pain, no gain. We thought we were doing a good thing, but we'll just not do anything.
So
yeah, I really doubt they did that, because then the Apple board meeting, they're like, guys, let's take a minute from talking about profit margins and money, and what can we do to help? What can we do to genuinely help the world? We can crack down on this, can't we, guys? We can all do it if we work together. It's like, no, fuck no.
No,
Like that was not their motivation.
no.
I don't.
They were
think
trying
you're right.
to they were trying to
Apple-
couch it behind that to make it unassailable.
I think you're gonna in the. What are you, a flat earther?
I don't think so. I think that companies working in a concerted way to try and get laws passed that increase their overall power in regard to people's interpersonal communication, and like that's
Apple
desirable for them.
also
Right?
has a pretty strong contingent of like, I don't know, green earth, solar panels, make the world a better place, hippies working there too. That would be all about this sort of thing.
I think a
Maybe.
few things can happen at once. I think they can come up with a technology that will allow them to get more power, over your information. That's 100%. But then it could also do some good. If, let's say, it caught some pedophiles that were, sharing files or whatever, that would be, I think, a net positive. But the problem is, I mean, I just thought, like, so is there, it has to go to a human, right? So there has to be a person that is employed by Apple, and their sole job is to look at child porn. Like, so like, is this image, like, or is it just like looking at checksums or something? Like, how does that work?
I have no
I
idea.
know, right? And they always talk about how damaging it is. Apparently in Australia, this job exists where they like check porn to make sure it's okay.
Oh.
And these people get a ton of time off because of how mentally distressing their job is. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I don't know. Like, I think I'd be good at that job. I could do
Dude,
it.
that would be
Just enjoy the time off.
that would be a soul crushing job, because like you
Some of us just
would-
aren't meant for
beat
it.
down
Some
your
of us
door.
were born for it, Taylor.
you'd be like, how was work, hon? And be like, well, I saw some really upsetting things, to tell you the truth. And it's like, I can't stop seeing it. When I
You just
close
need
my
to
eyes, I'm seeing
hire
these horrible
fucking
images.
Ghislaine Maxwell to do the job, and she'll be
No.
like, "How was work? Best day ever."
She's gonna be like, I think we could make even more of this stuff. You give me an island, you give me a guy with a shady bank fund and some international connections, we can get this banging.
Have you ever seen a 4-year-old hanging dong? Today I did.
Oh my
She did,
God.
she did.
That-
Yeah.
If anybody ever says anything like that, unironically, like the FBI needs to have all of this. Like, they just knock down your door immediately. Like, oh my God, that is
That was a sick joke.
Yeah,
no, yeah, obviously. But, wow.
I meant sick isn't
Very
really good.
and sick as in fucked up. Yeah. But that's,
Sick.
It's sick like getting an Ollie McTwist in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 98. Classic game. Turn off the gravity, combo for hours on those summer afternoons. You remember that, Kyle? Did you play Tony?
Never.
I guess I'm the youngest, but Tony Hawk Pro Skater 98 on the N64. You turned
played,
gravity
yeah.
off and you could just grind and do jumps with a million tricks and like go until the score bar was all the way till the end. And then you fall and it's like, I guess let's go outside. Like, that's all there was in the game, because it's not fun. But you were saying the Ghislaine thing, like, when's she gonna flip on people? She's not, like, and even if she did flip, like, I don't think it would be huge news. I could see it kind of being the same way as like the Panama Papers, where they found out like, hey, every rich person in the country is hiding their money and they're not paying taxes. Huge story.
Nobody cares.
Gone the
Yeah.
next day, because it implicates a lot of people who own media companies and shit like that. And so I can see this just kind of almost serving as like a way to squash the severity of the story of Epstein, to be like, well, they went to jail. What do you want? Like, the two people who did this went to jail, and it's like, come on.
I would love it if it didn't go that way. Like, the three
I would love
people
it
I
too.
keep seeing really associated with her are Clinton, Prince something or other from England probably, and Trump. Those are the three people that have really been linked to him. There's all these pictures. Trump in particular was quoted as saying, like, he likes the ladies as much as me, but he likes them on the younger side. Like, he fucking knew.
Oof.
It's another one of those open secrets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knew, but they just didn't say shit, which is ironically a conspiracy.
Like Harvey Weinstein. Yeah.
And I would just love to see her looking at literally a lifetime of jail start flipping. And then, like you said, for all I know, she flips like a circus performer and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Can they release like who talks to her in prison, or like what lawyers are coming to go see her? Because if it's like, let's say, lead counsel for the for the Trump family or the Clinton family or something went to go pay her a visit, like, is that public knowledge? Like,
I don't know.
It's a good thing you came to Taylor. He knows.
Yeah, I could not tell you. I can't imagine that would be public knowledge, but I don't know. Like, seems like we would have found something out about that.
I wonder if Cliff Hutchinson would.
Cliff Hutchinson, attorney at law. Yeah, we could. I'll tap him. I've got him on retainer. Very cheap. Very cheap.
Have any video game questions?
Video game release day questions, not about anything else. And then
Freddie doesn't know it. Taylor plays his character, Cliff Hutchinson, attorney at law. He specializes in video game release date legislation and basically convinces GameStop employees it's okay to give us games ahead of schedule.
We did that T-shirt back in the day where it like was Cliff Hutchinson, attorney at law, and I made I came up with the tagline: "Settle for less."
You just get pre-alpha games and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope you're right, Woody. Like, I hope something does come of it, because way more heads should roll than just these two people.
Late. It's getting to be too late. You guys have heard me express this idea many, many times. If you get to live your best life, never having had sex with anyone over 17, and then you finally get in trouble at 77 years old, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, do you mean like there's just a lot of old pedophiles that have gone too long without being behind bars?
Yeah,
like
I won.
Who is the Game of Thrones guy that I'm referencing? Walter
George
Frey?
R. R. Martin. No, Walter Frey.
Yeah, Walter Frey. This guy lived his best life. How many wives did he have? Like 28 or something like that.
A bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what his version of perfect life he lived. He was so old. He was like 90 something. His son was like 77 and never got his chance to be king because dad lived in like 99. And then he was murdered. And everyone's like, oh, they got him. They got him in 99. No. Like what? You listening? His life, he liked his more than you like yours.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, like, so what happens? Let's say everything is put out on the table. She has this crazy dossier that names every single person, and then you have pictures and video evidence and all this stuff. Like, is this the Nuremberg trials? Like, what happens, or is this swept under the rug?
I think it'd be swept under the rug. I think they would take advantage of deep fake and use that to excise a lot of people from culpability. Like, that's not Prince Andrew fucking a child. That's a deep fake of him, and those are all his deep faked royalty rings that he's wearing on his hand or whatever. Like, I feel like something like that would happen. Maybe I'm too cynical about it. Like, it would be great if some of these people got caught, because like the Prince Andrew stuff, like very, very obvious he was tied to a lot of fucked up shit.